What's good, gang? Sledge here. Today, I wanted to cover something for Rust players who enjoy trap bases. I've come with a solution to that pesky problem of babysitting these simple setups. In my experience, although fun to have an occasional trap base, I hate spawning in them or running over to them to see if I've trapped a player. Or in some players' cases, you sit there for potentially hours to see if a player was baited into your trap. Introducing the Trap Base Notification System. This system requires two circuits, one for home base and one for the trap base. In simple terms, this system will utilize electrical items to send a message to your home base whenever a player is executed by your trap. This saves you time spawning on bags or running over to the trap base to take a look inside for loot. Before we hop in, be sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel if you dig what I'm laying down. Here's what you'll need for each circuit. In the home base, you will simply need an RF receiver, a notification item like a speaker or light, as well as a branch. For the trap base, you will need a hopper, a storage adapter, two boxes, a conveyor, a branch, and an RF broadcaster. First, let's set up the home circuit, which is extremely easy to lay out. Simply set a branch, a light in my case, as well as an RF receiver. Route power to the power in of your branch and set this power to 2. Connect the branch out to the receiver's power in and its power out to the light's power in. Lastly, add a custom frequency to your receiver. I set mine to 315 for obvious reasons. If this wasn't a given, you can add more power to the circuit for connections to lights or speakers if you so choose. Just connect them all to the receiver and it will react the same way as my setup. Now let's jump into circuit number 2. This will be for the trap base. To note, I set up the dumbest, not even close to a good trap base for this example. I'm simply showing you how to set up the circuits, not build the trap base. So arrange the trap base and these items best suited for you to successfully trap players. With this said, place down your boxes, one with a hopper, one with a storage adapter, as well as a conveyor, a branch, and RF broadcaster. The main item of importance should be the box with the hopper, as this needs to be close to the corpse zone, as I'll call it, where the bodies lay once your trap has done its work. If they don't get sucked into the hopper, this entire video is null and void. Next, you'll want to simply take your pipe tool and connect the hopper's industrial out to the industrial in of your conveyor, followed by the industrial out to the industrial in of the storage adapter. Leave the filters within the conveyor open as you want this to move items to trigger the event we are chasing, which is the lights in the home base. To wire this, you will set the branch power to 9. Connect power to its power in. Then we take its branch out to the power in of your conveyor. Then connect its pass through to the power in of the hopper and the conveyor's filter pass to the power in of the broadcaster. Again, don't forget to set the frequency to the same as your receiver. Now, when we simulate the scenario, you will see that once a player is tricked into your trap base, they will get sucked in via the adapter. The conveyor will now transfer this to your second box, and by doing so, it will trigger the filter pass, powering and sending out a signal of your designated frequency via the broadcaster. And by default, this will trigger the receiver and power on the lights we connected, giving you a heads up that some bing bong just fell into your trap. Now, all you have to do is go grab the goodies inside your trap base. Now, that covers the basics of this idea, which is the absolute bare bones of this system. But stick around if you want some more expansions to refine this setup. Expansion 1 is very simple. Trap bases are known to pull in grubs before a full kit, probably 90% of the time. And this alert system may become annoying if you check on it over and over, only to find fat and bones. To avoid this issue, go into your conveyor settings and change the drop-down of the filter to exclude listed items, and add the items you don't care to run over for. This would mainly be like fat, bones, skulls, basic clothing and weapons, as well as rocks. Feel free to add whatever you'd like to ignore. Now you won't get a notification unless it's something worth going over for. Expansion 2 comes in the form of convenience. This is yet another simple idea to expand your notification system. Craft a pager and make sure to keep it on hand for whenever you are out and about. This way you don't miss notifications that may occur in base. Again, just make sure you set the frequency appropriately or this will be pointless. This is definitely a more tedious item to constantly carry around, so it really depends on how big of a deal this trap base is for you. Alternatively, you could simply set a switch in your home base, use the power out of your branch, connect it to the switch's power in, and the power out to the light. And finally, connect the power out of your RF receiver to the switch on port of your switch. This would avoid the pager altogether, and the alert will stay active until you manually turn it off. With larger teams, this may get a bit messy though, as some players unaware of the circuit could turn it off or on by accident. So, keep this in mind. As for the last expansion, you may want to consider adding a timer to the home circuit. This way, the lights and speakers stay powered longer than what the broadcaster outputs. Simply place a timer, connect the power out of the current branch into its power in. Then its power out to the lights and speakers. Feel free to add another branch for the exact power required. I'm just shortcutting this portion. Finally, connect a branch out to the RF receiver's power in and its power out to the toggle on of your timer, and set the timer to however long you'd like. I'd suggest something like 20 to 30 seconds. For all I care, you could set it for an hour. This is just a sure, safe way to make sure that you don't miss the alert. When the timer runs out of time, the circuit resets for the next victim. This is a basic concept, but one I thought up and figured some of you Mimeo nerds would enjoy implementing alongside your trap bases. A real quick shout out to the current paid members of the community that have went above and beyond in supporting my journey. You're thebomb.com. If this video proved valuable, I'd thank you a billion times if you hit the subscribe button for future videos. And while you're at it, consider joining the Discord in the description below for more Rust-based conversations and vibes. With all that said, I hope you trap all the tier 3 kits on the map and come out on top. Happy rusting, my friends, and I'll see you on the next one.